Hey everyone, back again with a new video. There's a new article by Geeks and Gamers. I found this article by Odyssey, which is speaking wave news about what's going on in the entertainment industry right now. The Odyssey, I think it's coming out sometime next month or so this year. It's Christopher Nolan's directing it. We have known one of the major Christopher Nolan major film like the Batman, Interstellar, and so much and so forth. So this article is about that Christopher Nolan says the Odyssey can have an orchestra because they didn't exist in ancient Greece. But raps, race swap, and modern dialogues are fine. Let's get started, guys. Welcome back to a new video. So Christopher Nolan is the man who race swap ending of Troy. Then before we dive bad, what we talk about Eden of Troy, based on the cast by IMDb, Eden of Troy is confirmed to be played by Lupita Nyong'o. Can't say her name, but she doesn't look like Eden of Troy. They possibly that launch a thousand ship to for conflict, which is crazy, but we'll leave it there. Let's continue back. And includes rap and element in the Odyssey claims the film can have an orchestra because they didn't exist back then. For many directors, obsession with historical accuracy in the Odyssey is started to look increasingly selective. So this recent Time magazine that Nolan decides to comes out with, it's eating the wave, especially on Twitter/X. So Nolan reported instructor composer Larry Gonson not to use orchestra music in a film score because it wouldn't be historically accurate. Um, but again, race swap is historically accurate. Having a major rap musician is historically accurate. Um, the English language it doesn't sound like Greek. It's historically accurate, so I can see it being kind of selective. So at face value, the level of commitment to authenticity sounds admirable. No one famously had a genuine seaworld ship constructed for Odyssey rather than ran Italian CGI. Now that's pretty funny. That's pretty cool. Having a real ship, that's pretty cool, I'd say. So Matt Damon has also praised the director for being very faithful to Homer origin text. Okay? But many fans are beginning to notice a glimmer. No orchestral but rap is apparently fine. Despite rejecting acoustic music for being historically inaccurate, Nolan also cast Travis Scott in the film and openly connected Olmec's daughter to modern rap music. Now this is what I'm talking about. Hollywood, I feel like needs to get their game together. You're directing a movie that by the Odyssey, written by Ono. It's been translated for many multiple ways. But I think Nolan is adapting a 2017 version written by a female author whose main goal was to put modern touch, ideology touch, um, and it's approaching that test. And with that test, he didn't get that much feedback, that much favor with the book. And I feel like if I can do my quick research, I can show you guys what book I'm referencing to. The book, I think it was 2017 version or 2018. Oh yeah, okay, 2017 version. Emily Wilson, known as the first English poem by a woman featuring fast-paced contemporary style. So this book didn't quite get the wave, and this is what Christopher Nolan is adapting, which I found suspicious. But hey, I'm guessing do what he knows, right? But let's continue. Against Travis Scott. So I cast him because I want to note what they did that this story has been ended done as oral poetry, which is an analog to rap. No one explained. That raised eyebrows. I still don't get why is Travis Scott in the Odyssey. The Odyssey is in Greeks. Greece. We look back in Troy, a great film. Look at this. Look at this casting. Look at this casting. Wow. Look at this casting. 2004. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Odysseys. Cast. Ay, ay, ay. Would you look at this? Why is Elliot Page? So, that's crazy. Look at this casting. There are good casting, but in the Odyssey, there is eyebrows. Let's continue the article. So orchestral instruments are appearing too modern for a Bronze Age Greek epic, but modern rap influences are acceptable because no one sets parallel between old storytelling tradition and contemporary music culture. For critics, the logic feels incredibly selective. Hmm, again, we talk about the trailer that they released about having a modern dialogue. The first film trailer have only intensified these concerns. Viewers quickly point out modern terminology like dad and daddy appearing in a dialogue phrasing that obviously did not exist in Homeric Greek poetry. Yeah, for me, in my opinion, you could have said father. That seems Greek, and that was same at that time. The criticism becomes especially sharp because Nolan himself has spent much of the film promoting a shocking emphasis, realism, immersion, and historical details. So if orchestra are considered too enthusiastic for the setting, why a modern controversial term suddenly acceptable? Too many observers create the impression that Nolan is cherry picking what counts as authenticity and what does not. Now, also, a new cherry pick critics also say Bronze Age Greece with iron armor? Question mark. The visual team themselves also drawn scrutiny from historically. From the training footage that was released online, some viewers note that appeared to be iron armor and weaponry, despite the story being rooted in the Bronze Age war tradition that are struggled with the Homer epic. Talking about this armor, it kind of looks like the Batman with the cow and everything. That was also raised eyebrows. Again, this subscription noise invited by repeatedly stressing the immense research and reason behind the production. And to me, if if no one could have come out and be honest about it and say, hey, we're making major changes about the Odyssey, this won't have similar of what people in mind picture what Odyssey would look like. The criticism wouldn't be too that, but it will still be there. But deep down, everyone knows that the Odyssey is a different story that's being told. So now he didn't say that. No one says that is making the film become more authentic, more consistent between the theme back then. But deep down, it's not really the case. Now let's talk about the major part. The ending of Troll casting controversy also hasn't gone away. The backlash surrounding Luther Neoja playing Aaron of Troll also continues to grow. Ancient Greek description of Aaron replete emphasis features her with pale skin and lighter hair. Homo referred to Aaron as white while later Greek writers such as Ezra and Cephalus described her with Timothy also with the fair of golden hair. And she played in the Troll, which was a great movie. This is not a great picture, but come on now. Again, we've seen the race casting, like especially with the recent Harry Potter movie TV show that's coming up when they cast Snape as a black person instead of him having a white pale skin. Again, this is something that needs to be pointed out. Yikes, Hollywood. Come on, Hollywood, get your games together. She's also talented, but don't get me wrong, she's not Ellen of Troy. So, another since being filmed, Christian has played his career on precision, detail, and immersion, but with the Odyssey, more viewers are beginning to wonder whether the director version of the historical accuracy only applies when it's convenient to support modern audio interpretation. So let me guys know how do you feel about Odyssey not having orchestra, like, and also having potentially being a rap music being influenced into the film. Or what not sure. It's what we've been about the rumors, the news, what has been given us in the trailer. The movie hasn't yet been released yet, so you have to wait and see. But in my opinion, I think giving others critics and others the Odyssey low range, you can easily hit 600 million the box office. If you end up being successful, the max could be close to 9 if it's a success. But low range, 5 to 6. 5 to 6. Because of the name of Christopher Nolan, he has built his brand of directing great movies, also some not so good movies. So let's look back about some of the great controversial of movie that have been released that have seen some diminished return. An example would be the Gladiator 2, which was a big flop, major flop. That's I want to share by the box office. This was released back in 2024. Look what it generated. $462 million worldwide. That's a major flop. The movie was absolutely bad. Bad. What a disaster. But let's talk about the first Gladiator movie, box office, that was released in 2000. Look what it made. This is not adjusted with inflation. 465 million. Adjust that to inflation now. This was 700 plus. This movie was a success. But hey, we gotta make a sequel, guys. Let's make some money. So let's see what the comments are really about the Odyssey. In my opinion, the movie we it didn't make 500 to 600 minimum. That's what I'm looking at. This was the recent trailer that was released. I'm not gonna play it because of copyrights. They'll try like copyright you on your YouTube, so I'm just gonna start it. I don't want to get copyright right now. Let's go to comments. Spider-Man getting bullied at home. This is first in Tobey Maguire. Again, the Odyssey. We need fresh cast. Why Zendaya? Zendaya doesn't have to be in everything. She's in Utopia. She's in Dune. She's everywhere. She doesn't have to be the Odyssey. She's in Spider-Man too. She's everywhere. Hey, maybe there's a reason why they're together in the Odyssey. John Botham, like, he doesn't need to be Odyssey. Elliot Page doesn't need to be Odyssey. Matt Damon, he's a Boston. What? He doesn't need to be Odyssey. Get a new person to play Odysseus. Like, bring on fresh cast. New cast that can tell the world. Why is Anne Hathaway playing Penelope in the Odyssey? This is crazy. Look at this. Look at the Troy cast again. I'll repeat this. Brad Pitt was a successful Achilles. The movie was good. Sean Bean, successful. Successful. Like, look at this cast. Golden age of Hollywood right here. Golden age. And now what we have here in the Odyssey, I don't think it's gonna make that much money. He did make 500 to 600. Look at this comment. Look at this. I never realized I had Greek accent until this trade drop. It's references about others like the Boston accent too. So let me guys know what you guys think. Do you guys think this movie will be successful or a flop? To me, it's a in between. But there's some critics that make some fair point that needs to be made. Let me guys know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll catch you up on the next video. Take care.